happens now. Hello, Zore. Hi, Lovey. Hi, Manos. Hello, Yasmin, Vanessa, Homa. It's great to have you guys here. Happy Sunday. I love Sundays. There is a different energy on Sundays, isn't it? It's the day to rest, to center ourselves, to cleanse. It's a great day to cleanse. Yeah, it's beautiful. Welcome, everybody. Happy Sunday. Live at 9 a.m. What? It's 10 a.m. It's 5 minutes to 10. I normally start a few minutes earlier so I can get everybody ready. Hi, Mobina. Hi, Jessie. Hi, Yusefi. Hi, Abrisham. Yeah. I'm doing a joint live with Christian. It's going to be a beautiful live. Hi, Mitrajan. Welcome. So, how was the last live with Nasser? Did you guys get something out of it? Was it practical? Were you able to use something? Hi, Pegajan. Good to have you here. Hello, Ferishte. Hey, Sahar. Time zone? What about the time zone? We haven't changed our time. Have you guys changed your clock already in Europe? 5:55 p.m. here in Germany. Hey, Vanessa. Beautiful. Right now in LA is 9:56 a.m. No, you haven't changed your clock. Yeah. So in 4 minutes, it would be 10 a.m. Yeah. I believe we changed our clock March 21st, maybe March 20th, midnight. We changed the clock and we're celebrating New Year. Happy Nowruz to all of you guys who celebrate Nowruz. Hi, Muji. Welcome. Yeah. Yeah, probably we switch our clock March 21st, the first day of spring. Ula Marzi, hello, welcome. Welcome, Sepide John. No, Zorajan, I haven't. It's 10 a.m. Los Angeles time. What's going on? What time is it in Sweden, Zora, now? Happy Nowruz to all of you. Happy Nowruz, yes. Aksraspani, hello, love. Hello, welcome. Hi, Sepide John. Welcome. It's so great to have everyone here. Beautiful energy. My phone is showing 9:58 a.m. Yeah, 6 p.m. Los Angeles, right? The 6 p.m., I'm sorry, Sweden. Oh, so you have changed your clock. If it's 6 p.m., if is Christian has joined, let me see. I didn't see Christina yet. Oh, there she is. Christina, would you please send me a join request? Welcome. Thank you, love. You're welcome. You're welcome. I am only at service, so whatever is needed to be done, Jesse. Hi, Soraya. Hello, love.
Hi, how are you?
I am great, and how are you?
I'm good.
It's beautiful to have you here. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, it would be great. We are really looking forward to this join live.
Yes, I am too.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and where are you from and where do you live?
Yeah, so my name's Kristen. I am from Minnesota in the United States, and it's really cold up here. You live in Los Angeles, which is nice and warm, but it's
Yeah.
just warming up here. And so a little bit about myself is I'm an emotion code practitioner, and so that
Hmm.
is a form of energy healing. And I don't know how much more you want me to go into.
That's beautiful. Thank you
Okay.
so much. Yeah. I'm thinking about traveling and coming to New Jersey to visit my niece, and I know it's kind of cold and chilly,
Yeah.
getting myself ready.
Well, especially coming from Los Angeles, it's always fun when I go on vacation and I'm like wearing a t-shirt and everyone else is wearing a sweatshirt.
Yeah, isn't it funny? Your body really get used to it.
It
Yeah, I
really
know.
does. It does.
Okay, so I think, hello Ladan, hello Momo. So I think we're ready to dive in. We want to hear all about it.
Okay. So I'm gonna show you like how I got into emotion code. So basically I got really sick after I had my son 4 years
Hmm.
ago. And I was really sick after him, and I went to some doctors and I found out that I had Hashimoto's disease. And luckily, I went to a more like natural path doctor who recommended doing like food and herbs and supplements. So I healed a ton with that. And I still felt like there's just something missing. Like I wasn't 100% healed. Didn't feel 100%. And I was doing all the things. Like I was 100% doing everything you're supposed to do. And I just felt like there was something missing. And a friend recommended doing some energy healing, emotion code and body code. And so I found a practitioner, and like my healing just like skyrocketed. Like it was just insane. Like things, like just for one example, I like could never have my period unless I um like had birth control. And so I got off birth control, and I took some supplements and did some like raspberry leaf tea and Vitex berry, which is a supplement, and I got my period back. But like if I went off of any of that stuff, I couldn't get my period. And through emotion code and body code, I was able to get my period, and I have like my period every month on the same time, like a regular period. So it's just really amazing, like the healing that comes from it.
Hmm.
So that's just kind of like my personal story of how I got like involved in it, how I found it. And so then I started practicing on myself and friends, and just saw like in my family, and I just saw like I healed my son's eczema with it, and I just healed so many different things. And I was like, I just got this like huge thing where I was like praying. I was like, what should I do? And basically I left my job and I started doing this for a living. Yeah.
That's beautiful story. So was the transition easy for you to leave a job behind and then starting this?
No, I was kind of like forced into it. We moved. I think it was like all like really part of my plan, because I don't think I would have ever left a corporate job, to like start my own business. It's really risky. So I was praying about it, and I think through my prayers, God was like, okay, it's time. So we ended up moving, like from one side of the state to the other side, where all of the jobs that like I worked in retail, I was an assistant buyer, And all of the jobs was like on the west side of the state. And where we moved more like there's not a lot out here. And so we moved and I like there was no jobs for me. And so I think it was just like a really good like it was kind of like I knew I wanted to be like a health coach. I didn't know if I wanted to do a health coach or energy healing. And God really led me to be like, you need to do energy healing. And like, I gave you this like opportunity, like you moved, you're staying at home right now. And so I just became certified and started working on clients and it took off from there.
Beautiful. Yeah, sometimes it just feels like the universe is just lead us in our paths. I mean, because
Seriously.
I know this is really tough because I'm doing coaching. I've been a life coach for over 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I know sometimes it's extremely difficult for people to make that transition to leave the
Mm-hmm.
9 to 5 job, which gives them security behind, and just really find that courage to just get in and do something that at the beginning there is no money into it. I mean, it happens for me
Yeah.
too, because um, like 40 years ago, I used to work in health as a health coach and personal trainer. And then when I started to get into this healing and, being a spiritual counselor, that transition is like kind of like scary, like, oh, you're going to leave the job that money is constantly coming, and then you moving
Mm-hmm.
into a different field without any guarantee like how it's going to go. So I
Yeah.
know I've been there, so I know how it feels. It feels you need to have a lot of trust in the universe and the courage to do it and just fully throw yourself in there. I am with you. Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us about the emotion, the modality that you work with.
Yeah. So basically, we all get trapped emotions. A big part of that is so when I'm working on clients, a lot of times, like, let's say they have anxiety now, or let's say they lost a job, or something like currently happened, like a divorce, for example. And it's really interesting when we do a session on them, a lot of the trapped emotions are coming from the childhood, from ages of 0 to 7. um, because that is where from the ages of 0 to 7 is when we form our beliefs, where
Mhm.
our triggers come from, where a lot of the trauma comes from. um, that is just a big portion of our life. So even though something may happen, like yesterday or today, how you react to that, what happened to you is actually a trigger stemming from probably earlier on in your years, and people don't realize that. So I'm a lot releasing trapped emotions from birth. Birth is huge. Like when we're born, we go through a lot of trauma. The delivery process is not only hard on the mom, but it's really hard on the baby. And afterwards, you're in the hospital or wherever you are getting poked and prodded. And just even that alone has trapped emotions. And you can't talk for the first, year or so and express your feelings of what's going on and try to get help. So we have so many trapped emotions from earlier on. So what happens is we get trapped emotions, and how you get a trapped emotions is if you're going through something, and it could be as simple as I had a client where she had all of these trapped emotions from the age of 17, and she thought something traumatic happened to her. And really, it was from her trying to decide if she should go to college or not. Um, so something as, maybe that's not simple, but something as simple as that. She had all of these trapped emotions because she was worried and fearful, and she thought that she was going to get rejected. And so all of these feelings got trapped in her, because what happens is when you have feelings and you don't express them and own up to them and really feel them, which in today's society, and when we were a child, we were told not to cry. We're told, not to feel certain feelings. If we're really honest with ourselves, we aren't our true selves in front of a lot of people. And so we're repressing, repressing, repressing. And when you repress, it gets trapped. And so you can think back to your childhood of like, did you get sent to your room and like you weren't allowed to express how you truly felt because you were feared of rejection, or you were afraid of getting punished or things like that, even at school through your friends or family. And so our whole life we're repressing. and they get trapped. And what happens is trapped emotions, they clog. Basically, it's energy. So we're made of energy, everything's energy. And when you're not, your body's not flowing correctly because the trapped emotions, can be anywhere inside your body. They cause issues, liver, lots of organs, heart, brain. I mean, they've even looked at like cancer patients and after they've gone through treatment, they've worked on, or even during treatment, they're working on clients and they don't know where the cancer is. And a lot of the trapped emotions are where the cancer is. So
Mm-hmm.
there's just, it's really fascinating. And so the modality that we use is basically with my clients is I can connect, all of my clients are done via distance. And if you kind of look at like quantum physics, so like everything is energy and energy is matter. We don't need to be like right next to each other for that. And so basically I connect with my client, and it's called proxy is how they they say it. And so basically I connect with my client and then I feel and I sense and I use basically the client's subconscious and then God's energy, and then that does the healing, and we really release the trapped emotions um, through the meridian. And you can use a magnet, or I actually just use my hand now because I've done this for so long, and you just go like that, and you are swiping away the energy, and basically, and then you have a processing time. So let's say you process 5 days. So after that 5 days of processing out these emotions, so some people can get physical effects like headaches, more tired, or some people can be like more emotional. Some people are just like super happy after a session, like they just feel like a weight's been lifted off of them. So it's processing is very different for every client.
Mm-hmm.
But the best part is once you're done processing, those trapped emotions are gone and they never come back. Like it's all gone.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
It's a
So,
lot. Sorry. I know that's a lot. I was like,
no, that's fine. That's fine. So basically, I mean, since I've been into this healing realm for many years, at the beginning, people always used to ask me, what modality of healing are you doing? And I was like, I really don't have any modality. I'm not
yeah.
working with anything, right? I'm
Yeah.
just getting connected and so when we work, I mean, the way I work with a client is I tap into their energy field, of course, with their permission. And
Mm-hmm.
then I can see kind of like scanning the body and see if there is a cancer, what's the emotional behind it. So for instance, I have always seen there is some mutuality. Like cancer, there's always guilt and shame, and this is
Mm-hmm.
always showing up. So how do you work? Like when you work with someone, are you specifically working with the emotions? Like, is it apparent? Are you telling the clients like what emotions are blocked or not? You just doing the work and they don't need to know about it.
Yeah. So basically, there's like a graph that I have, and with all the emotions on it. And through
Mm-hmm.
muscle testing, I find out what trapped emotions there are. So basically, a client can pick a topic, any topic. So let's say it's depression, anxiety, relationship. It could be career, like they want to be more successful. What's holding them back? Self-sabotage. I mean, the list is endless on what you can do with emotion
Right.
code. So then basically that's the topic. And what I do is like their body, their subconscious tells me once I connect with them, and I just go through my graph and find what trapped emotions they have for this, and then I release them.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be like, is there an illness? What trapped emotions are contributing to this illness? And then I would go through my graph and find the trapped emotions.
Got it. So basically, there is list of emotions. So you have the whole library of different emotions, and
Mm-hmm.
then you go one by one with them, and then you're feeling or experiencing it in your body, or the client is.
So since I'm connected to them, I can feel it, but luckily I put on a shield so that I don't feel it because I don't want to feel all of the client's pain and
Right,
everything.
right.
I'm sure you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. So I put a shield up so that I don't feel it. I do feel some stuff like, um, and I'm very like intuitive, so I can like feel, what's going on with them, kind of like what's going on inside of them. So, like for example, like what are they feeling? Like really, maybe like they feel happy, they seem happy on the inside, but I can tell it like there's certain things that are bothering them and why they're bothering them, and I can feel
Mhm.
that. So, but I do put a shield up to protect me from like, especially the physical pain things. Like if someone has like an earache or certain pains in their body, I don't want to feel that. so, so I'll put a shield up to protect me
So
from
can
that.
you, before we get more into it, can you tell us how you put the shield around you that you don't catch other people's energy?
Yeah. So basically, all I do is I say a prayer and I say, Dear God, please put a shield on me and protect me from any negative energy, protect me from this session, please protect me. Don't let the person influence me during the session. And then I also make sure that the session is protected from my feelings and my pain and what's going on inside of me.
Okay, so
That's
it's done through a prayer. Do you
mm-hmm.
believe in Angel Michael? Because I normally connect with Angel Michael
Yeah.
for protection.
Yes. Yes. I do believe in Angel Michael. Mm-hmm.
Okay, very
Mm-hmm.
good. All right. So now the client getting a session with you, and then are they at the beginning? Run us through the session, like step by step. How do you do it?
Yeah. I was actually like thinking I could do like a session on you if you wanted to. Um,
Beautiful. But more yet, if you allow me, can we get someone to join us and then you can do
yeah,
it?
I'm trying to think because so normally the application that I use is on my phone. Um, and I'm using my phone right now, so I'm trying to like I need to log on via the website and do that. So yeah, if you want to get someone and all they have to
Okay.
do is I do have to see a picture. I have to connect to them. I have to see their face.
Okay. So we'll do that. Okay, guys,
Yeah.
whoever wants to join us with Christine, hurry up, send a join request, and Christine can work with you guys. Who wants to volunteer? Who wants to volunteer? Yeah, whoever wants to volunteer to come, so she can work on you guys. This is an amazing opportunity to do so. Yeah, that's beautiful. Mm. Christine, who's that master that's started this emotional code? I was
Yeah.
watching him. What? Huh?
Dr. Bradley Nelson.
Yes, Bradley Nelson. Yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing. I'm actually getting certified in body code right now. So I don't know,
Mm.
are you familiar with body code?
Yes, I am.
Okay, yeah. So right now I'm getting certified in body code, and that's been like I've been working on clients with body code, and it's been amazing. I love it.
Yeah, I watched him years back and I was like, when you do, I mean, it's one thing when you start doing something and then as year goes by, you become like an expert to it. So you can see that he's just going through this thing and he's like,
I
and he's,
know, I know. He's so good at talking about everything. I'm
yeah.
always like, that's amazing. And what's the other one? Okay, so there's a book too that's so obviously there's a book called The Emotion Code. So I really suggest like anyone listening, if you guys want to learn more, to get the book The Emotion Code and you can learn more about it. It goes like really in detail about it. It's amazing. And I wanted to share, so there's also a book that talks about yeah, so let's see. The
That
energy
you can join. So,
energy scale from David R. Hawkins, and he talks about how emotions. I don't know if you've read that book, but it's how emotions attract certain things, and how like even like because everything has an energy, right? So emotions have an energy. Like joy has an energy, and fear has an energy. And so
right.
if you have like a lot of fear in you, how it's attracting certain diseases and illnesses.
Mm-hmm.
Super fascinating.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi.
Sahar. Thanks for joining.
You're welcome.
Okay, Christina, there you go.
Okay,
Okay.
and what's your name?
My name is Sahar.
Is it Seha?
Sahar. Sahar.
Sahar. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Sahar? Okay.
Thank you.
And then what do you want your topic to be? You could actually pick like a specific topic, or we could do a like a body led session where your body just wants to release what it wants to release.
Let's do whatever you want.
Okay, we'll do a body led session. Okay, sounds good. So let me get everything ready. Just trying to click this. Go back to that. Okay, so now I'm going to connect with you. So basically what I do is I will say your name multiple times, and I do muscle testing. I'll back this up so you guys can see. When I muscle test, I use my hands. And so this equals yes, and this equals no. So when you see me do that, when I'm doing a session, there's not a lot of talking because, again, I have to find the emotions. So I'm muscle testing to find the emotions. And you can ask questions after we find it if you want to ask anything. You don't need to. The beauty about emotion code is that you don't need to, like, I think therapy is really great, and I think there's a time and place for therapy. But the thing that's beautiful about emotion code is that when we release the trapped emotion, you don't have to bring up what happened and have to go through it again. So when you revisit trauma in your past life or anything in your past life and you have to rethink about it and talk about it, you're actually making your body re-experience that situation, and it can be kind of traumatizing. So the beautiful thing about emotion code is we're not doing that. We're just releasing what happened and it's gone. So so I'm gonna connect with you really quick. So, and then I just say a prayer really quick. Okay, so now I'm connected to you. Okay. Okay, so, okay, I want to make sure I'm saying your name right. Sahar?
Yeah.
Okay. Does Sahar have any trapped emotions that we can release today? So, yes. Okay. So, this is going to be a body-led session. Sahar's body is going to lead us to what her body needs to release. So, now I'm going to go and I'm going to find the trapped emotion. Unsupported. Okay, and then I'm going to find out what age this happened at. So, was this over 1? No. Was this over 6 months? No. Was this over 1 month? Yes. 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, 4 month, 5 months old. Okay, so this was unsupported at 5 months old. Now I'm going to release it from you. We're now releasing the emotion of unsupported. Now releasing the emotion of unsupported. Okay, were we able to release that? Yes. So now release the emotion of unsupported from 5 months old. How long? I can keep going, so let me know how long you guys want me to go for. Do you want me to do like
go ahead.
a couple more? Okay.
She's really into it, as long as you wish.
Yes.
Yeah, just go on.
Okay. Does Sahara have any more trapped emotions that we can release today? Fear. And was this inherited? No. So inherited would be, so I always ask if this is inherited. That would be like upon conception from your mother and your father, you get inherited trapped emotions. And so once you release an inherited trapped emotions, it actually gets released from like the family line, which is like the most amazing thing. And that makes sure that anyone in your family that had that, it's released. And then that makes sure that you do not pass that down to any generation going forward.
Great.
Okay, so fear. Okay, so this wasn't inherited, but I just wanted it. So was this inherited? No. Okay. And then how old was she when this happened? Was it over 5? Was it over 1? Was this 5 years old? Yep. So 5 years old, the emotion of fear. And if you ever want me to dig into like
Yes, that's fine.
Okay,
That's
just let me know.
Yeah.
Okay, we're now releasing the emotion of fear. Now releasing the emotion of fear. Okay. Do you have any more trapped emotions? Yep. Okay, wishy-washy, and was this inherited? Yes, this was inherited. Was this inherited from her mother? So this was inherited from your mother. Do we need more information? Do we need to know how many generations going back? No. Okay. So wishy-washy inherited from your mother. So wishy-washy, a lot of clients always have a question of like, what is wishy-washy? It means like uncertainty. You don't trust yourself. You don't trust your intuition. You don't trust your decisions. Like you're always kind of like, oh, I don't know if I should do this or do that. Does that kind of resonate with you?
Yep.
Okay. So since this is inherited, I have to swipe 10 times, just an FYI. Okay. We're now releasing the emotion of wishy-washy inherited from her mother. We're now releasing the emotion of wishy-washy inherited from her mother. Now releasing the emotion of wishy-washy inherited from her mother. Okay, that is cleared. So I'll do a couple more. Honestly, like usually I do when I work on a client, it's between like 20 to 50 trapped emotions. So I won't obviously do that whole thing with you because it takes a little bit, but I'll just do 2 more. Emotions. Okay, we got fear again. Is this inherited? Yes, this is inherited. Okay, is this inherited from her father? Yes, this fear inherited from your father. The thing with inherited trapped emotions too is, so once you get a trapped emotion, especially in your early ages, so like inherited, like, you know, that 0 to 7 age, it's easier to get that trapped emotion again because you're already having, so again, every emotion has a frequency. And once you get that trapped, it's vibrating in your body. So once you kind of, it's easier for you to feel fearful. It's easier for you to get that trapped. So a lot of times, if you notice, like there's some people out there that are more anxious or more fearful compared to other people. And the reason that is because they have more fear trapped in them and that's resonating in their body. So when something comes up, they're more apt to be fearful and, you know, have that. Okay, so fear inherited from your father. Yes. Okay. Now releasing the emotion of fear inherited from your father. We're now releasing the emotion of fear inherited from your father. We're now releasing the emotion of fear inherited from your father. Were we able to release? Yes. Okay, I'll do 1 more. Yep. Okay, fear again. Is this inherited? No. Okay. What age was this? Was this over 5? Was this over 1? Was this 5 years old? Okay, fear at 5 years old. So we have 2 from 5 years old. So interesting. Maybe something, you know, at school or at home, something happened during that age. Now releasing the emotion of fear. Now releasing the emotion of fear. Now releasing the emotion of fear. We're able to release the emotion of fear. Okay. So then I always ask, how many days is it going to take for you to process these trapped emotions out of your body? 2 days. So for 2 days, you will be processing. So if you feel like a little bit more fearful or emotional, or, you know, we didn't have any anger come up, but it could, you know, fear could relate to anger. Like if you have those feelings, don't repress them. Like don't be like embarrassed or like, oh, why do I feel this way? I always recommend to clients, like, if you want to cry, cry. If you want to be angry, like be angry. And if that's punching a pillow, screaming, if that's like going doing a workout, whatever you need to release that energy and own it and like, you know, just accept that emotion, that is going to be the easiest for you to really clear the emotion out and make sure that it's only 2 days of processing instead of longer for your body. Another thing you can do to help the energy and the emotions move through your body faster is like tapping, prayer, meditation, or breath work, all the things that move the energy through your body.
Thank you.
Do you have any?
Great.
Yeah.
That was really great. Thank you.
Christina, I got a question.
Yeah.
Because I know Sahar kind of, I mean, we never really know anybody, but I know her enough to say that the part of wishy-washy, how much is that going to affect her work? Can we find out? Because she's very undecisive. Like she does her line of work, she does graphic design. She's very artistic, right?
Yeah.
But she's coming from a background that she firmly believes and hold on that as a child she was suffering from ADHD, and she still does. So
Mm-hmm.
she's very creative, yet she's very scattered. She
Yeah.
cannot be here. And even when she wants to make a post, it takes her longer because she gets distracted into all these images. Should I take this and should I take that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have also the choosing problem. I can't really
Yeah.
choose. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
undecisive.
that's wishy-washy.
Mhm.
And I also think, and my intuition is saying fear. You're scared to make the wrong decision. So
Mhm.
that's like you're scared to even make a decision because you're fearful of making the wrong decision. And so it kind of plays hand in hand. Not only are you wishy-washy, but you're afraid of doing something wrong.
Mhm.
And I don't know if that stems from your childhood. Maybe, you know, you're afraid to do something wrong. Maybe you were punished or just, I mean, I feel like we're all afraid of doing something wrong, right?
Mhm.
So we grow up at school, at home, making sure that we're like trying to do the right thing and not being our true authentic self. And we
Mhm.
repress a lot. And so, yeah, that affects our work. So I'm going to ask, so how much is wishy-washy affecting her work? Is it 50%? Is it more than 50%? Okay, it's more than 50%. Is it more than 60? Is it 55? So wishy-washy is affecting your work 55%. Let's ask about fear. How much is fear affecting her work? Is it more than 50%? Okay. Is it more than 40? Is it more than 30? Is it more than 20? So is it 20%, 25, 20? So fear is affecting 20%. Wishy-washy is affecting you 55%.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So she's so worried about making the wrong decision or the wrong choice that fear is actually making her make the simplest mistake, although she's really trying to be concentrating on her
Yeah.
task.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, yeah, you need to believe in yourself. And I think we all need to, even the most confident person still has to work on believing in themselves. So, you know, um, I would say like, do you do affirmations at all? Do you know?
Yes, we do.
So I
Yeah.
maybe write them down and like
Mhm.
in the mirror and talk
Yeah.
to, and instead of just saying them, like actually look in the mirror, like eye
Mhm.
contact. Because this is when it gets serious, is when you look in the mirror and you talk to yourself. Because then
Mhm.
it's like, ugh, you know, you can say, I am worthy, I am loved. Anyone can say that
Mhm.
walking down the hallway. But when you're looking in the mirror and you're talking to yourself and you're saying, I am worthy, I am good at my job, I make right decisions,
Mhm.
like things like that, and really look at yourself and believe them. And in the beginning, you're probably not going to believe it, and that's okay. But the more you say it and the more you trust yourself, and you'll start to believe those things. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then where do you think the part that she can't be consistent with the task? For instance, we say you're mentioning this to her and she will do it for 2 3 5 days maximum. She can sustain it and then she loses it again, and then
Mhm.
until few months passes by and then she gets another reminder to do it. So where does that come in your emotional coding? If we can't sustain a habit, what trap emotion is it affecting that?
I mean, there could be so many, but that to me is self-sabotage. It's
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
easier to, it is easier to self-sabotage yourself than try really hard and fail. It's easier for you to be like, just sabotage yourself and not make it happen than if you can just say, oh my goodness, I worked really hard at this. I gave it everything I had and it wasn't good enough. So
Mhm.
we self-sabotage ourselves. And yeah, there's tons. I mean, I could find right now the trapped emotions. So,
That
okay,
would be
so
beautiful, Christina, if you're
yeah,
willing to do that with her.
yeah. Okay, so it would be okay, so would it be inconsistent? Okay, give me like a kind of like a one-liner of what you want me to search for of that.
Uh, Self-sabotage.
Self-sabotage.
Mhm.
For work though, should we do like self-sabotage and for work? Okay.
Yeah. For
So
everything. For work.
so okay. She has these trapped emotions that are causing self-sabotage for work. Yes. Can we release these? Yes. Okay. So it'll be. Okay, we got fear. And is this inherited? No. So it's over 15, 15, 16, 17, 18. So it's 20 years old. So fear from 20 years old. We're now releasing the emotion of fear. Now releasing the emotion of fear. So do you remember what you might have been afraid of, like, or fearful of at 20? Can you think back of anything? Did something happen at work or school? You don't have to. I just thought I would ask. It's
I
honestly.
just don't remember.
Yeah.
Maybe it's related to my previous boyfriend. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
She's
I mean, and
she's
this is the, I'm
married.
just
She's
asking.
married now, Christina. But
Yeah,
how many years ago did you get married, Sarah?
about 5 years.
Five
When I was
years ago.
21. Okay, no, that was past.
So
I
how old
lost
are
it.
you now?
Sorry,
How old are you now?
I'm 26.
26. So that's 6 years ago.
Yeah, before Ali.
Okay.
Yeah, at
And it's okay.
that moment, I was also working in a restaurant that I wasn't doing good at all. And I don't know still which one is that. So
Yeah,
many.
no. And the beauty about emotion code, so like I don't ever ask clients like for them to think about it, but I just thought since we're doing a live and since it was 20, I thought it would be, you know, compared to obviously you're not going to remember at 5 years old, but I thought at 20 if there's anything, and you don't have to. That's the beauty of emotion code. We don't need to know, and it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't help anything to actually remember why this trapped emotion happened. Okay, so do you have any more trapped emotions causing self-sabotage in work? Yes. Okay, fear again. Was this over the age of 5, over the age of 1? 1, 2, 3. At 3 years of age, fear. You're now releasing the emotion of fear. Okay. Have any more trapped emotions? Yep. Fear again. Is this over the age of 5, over the age of 1, over the age of 6 months? 6 months, 7 months, 8 months old, fear. We're now releasing the emotion of fear from 8 months old. Any more trapped emotions? Fear again. Okay. So lots of fear, lots of fear. Over the age of 10, over the age of 5, 5, 6, 7. Fear, age 7. We're now releasing the emotion of fear from age 7. So yeah, exactly what I was saying is it's you're afraid to make a mistake. And let me know if I mean, please let me know. This is you. This is what I'm feeling. You're afraid to make a mistake or do something wrong or something. And it's easier to not do it or just put it to the side and not worry about it.
Yeah, everything is all fear.
Yeah.
All related to fear.
So the anxiety is related to the fear too, right?
Yeah.
She's very anxious constantly. She has a lot of anxiety. So that's coming from her fear. So now that you're releasing her fear, her anxiety will come down too, right?
I mean, we have lots of trapped emotions inside of us. So let's see what the anxiety. I mean, yeah, obviously fear is a huge indicator of anxiety and anxiousness, right? The fear of the unknown, the fear of the future, and like not focusing on the here and now. We get fearful, which makes us anxious when we can't control things. So let's see what trapped emotions is causing your anxiousness. Okay, does she have any trapped emotions causing anxiousness? Yes. Fear. Okay. And was this inherited? What age is over 20, over 15? Was this 20 years old? 20 years old. Fear. We're now releasing the emotion of fear from 20 years old. Okay. Any more trapped emotions? Fear. Girl, you got a lot of fear in you. We need to get that out.
You know,
Okay.
I don't feel the fear, but you know, it makes sense.
You know
It does
why?
make sense.
Okay, so remember, this fear was inherited from your father. Before you were born, you had fear in you. You had fear in your mother's womb. You were born with fear in you. And then anytime you felt fear, that got trapped because it was already resonating in your body. And what happens is we get so good at building a wall that we don't feel things. So you have felt so much fear that you have honestly learned to not even feel it anymore, not even to resonate it, not even to know that you have it. Most people that have, I mean, not most, I should take that back. A lot of people with anxiety, I had anxiety and I didn't even know it because I like learned, and I used to have ADD. Like I learned how to cope and do life. Like it's called high function anxiety, and a lot of people have it. And it's when you learn how to cope with ADD, ADHD, anxiety, things like that, fear, and you just like build a wall, build a wall, build a wall, build a wall, so that you don't even think or feel it, and you just live your life, and you learn to live your life with that. Because it's called survival, you know? Like how can you imagine if you felt how you truly felt every day? Felt that fear every day. I mean, you wouldn't be like, it is our body protecting us to build these walls up. And that's why, I mean, and I don't know if you guys have heard of heart wall sessions, but
Yeah.
a heart wall session is focusing on the trapped emotions that are built around your heart. And your body does that to protect you. Because think about all the times that you've been hurt in your life from friends, family, relationships. I mean, if you truly could feel that, what has happened to you in your life, I mean, yeah, you just couldn't go on every day. So your body does things to protect you. And that's why we have trapped emotions. It's our body's way of protecting us so that we don't feel everything all the time.
And give you an example. I know she's okay with me mentioning this because we talked about it in my couple of lives that I did before. Couple of weeks ago, her husband was working and he felt really nauseous, and he had to go to emergency room. And then she forwarded me his voice call that, yeah, I was feeling really terrible and I had to come to emergency room. And she forwarded me the voice and she says, how should I feel right now?
I
I
really
don't
didn't
know.
know.
I mean, talking about shutting down your emotions,
Yeah.
we're working on this for her to be able to feel her emotions, show her emotion, and be expressive enough to talk about it. But that's exactly what you're saying, because she shut down so many emotions that she's not even aware that it's fear. But you can see that in her body language, the way she speaks, and all of these. And it's like, for me, well, I come from a background of ADHD, OCD, and then years of anxiety. And then few years ago, every time I would lay back or push my head back, I would get dizzy. And I thought, okay, it's got to be the vertigo, right? This is the inner ear. But when I did a healing on myself, I realized that major part of it comes from anxiety. You know, we don't know that we're still anxious, and it's still in our body that we haven't released it. And once I start searching, it says, yes, you could be feeling motion sick. It could be your inner ear if you're feeling dizzy. You could be low in vitamin B12. But I never connect the vertigo into anxiety, So yeah, absolutely. We got so many traps, emotions, and our body it's really so for
And when you
me.
say your ear, so like our body does speak to us. Like when it gets too much, our body will start to be like, okay, Like, I've had enough. I'm going to do something. Like, our body speaks to us, whether it be acne or an earache. Like, I have helped so many patients with earaches. Like, they were going to go get like medication, and we did an emotion code, and it went away. And you know why that is because it's like the craziest thing. It even happened to my son. I saw it in real life. Like, he was screaming, crying because he had ear pain, and I was going to bring him into the hospital, and because it was a weekend, and I was like, okay, I'm going to sit down. And this was like early on, like right when I started doing emotion code, and I did an emotion code on him, and it just, he went back to normal. He started playing, and I was like, what? And I did more research, and I was just like, this is insane. This is amazing and insane. When we don't want to hear something, when we don't want to acknowledge something, we get an ear infection or an earache, or, you know, and it manifests into an earache because your ears
Exactly.
will literally shut down because you don't want to hear it, whether that be feedback. Maybe it's your parents fighting. Maybe it's, you know, what it was is that we were talking about his parents selling the cabin, and we were talking about this, and he loved going to the cabin. And you know, he was so young at the time, I didn't think to sit down and talk to him about it.
Yeah.
And so he was so upset and didn't want to hear that the grandparents were selling the cabin. Like, oh my God, he heard us talking about it and then got an ear infection, earache.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
So true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Okay, Sajid, do you have a question for Christine?
I don't know if I'm allowed to ask again to work on more things.
She got more issues to work
That's a
on.
selfish one because I think so many people want to join now.
Yeah, I know.
I believe when I was young, like 3 years old, my my third eyes was open and I could see things. But after years, I just can't do that anymore. And also my throat chakra also, I can't express myself, and that's, I think, because of the feelings, that trap feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I should work on that also.
Yeah, definitely. So when I do body code, so I do emotion code and body code, and with body we go, you can release trapped emotions depending on your chakras, like throat, stomach, you know, all that, your solar plex. And we can do body code too, which body code like resets the chakras as well. So I actually just did a live on my Instagram page about it. So I haven't been talking, and I haven't been sharing a lot of things and keeping things inside because yeah, it's just like, it's really hard when you're an energy healer, and then you, like, I go into the real world, and a lot of people don't understand energy healing, and they think it's like weird and things like that. And so like I keep a lot of things inside, and I don't share them, you know, because of that, because I'm afraid of like what people think of me saying I'm an energy healer, you know. And I had a rude awakening about that because I got sore throat, and I did a session on me, and one of the things that I had to reset was my throat chakra. And I learned that I need to start speaking up and telling the truth and not hiding behind things, and it was a good lesson learned.
Yeah, I think we're ready now, Christina. I mean, when I got into this energy healing field about maybe like 14, 15 years ago, and I never thought about are people ready to hear me? I think we're always ready to hear the truth because the truth is within us. It's just for individual to decide when they're ready to hear the truth. So I never cared about the judgment of others because from where I was coming from in the fitness and nutrition, it was very scientific. So when I wanted to switch into healing, especially because I was on television and there were a lot of people, I had a lot of viewers and that stuff. Few of my friends, they told me, we don't think this is a right decision for you to switch because you have so much credit in the science field of it. and moving into healing and that stuff, that's like voodoo stuff, and you're going to lose your credit. And but I didn't care about that. I just said I don't care, and I just did it. And I think now, especially the past 10 years at least, everyone is really moving up. We're really ready to hear the
Hmm.
truth, and we're doing it more and more each day. So I think you should totally throw
I
yourself
know.
out there. We are
I
ready.
have been. I've in the last 6 months I have been. I really have. It's just it's hard, especially like being a Christian, and like a lot of people will judge that, and it's like if you only knew, like a lot of these things come from God and some things get twisted, and unfortunately like you're told not to do certain things when that's not true. So yes, I am working on that. I am working on that on myself. And so, yeah, and I think it's like every year it changes and becomes more and more like people are aware of it. And it is so like the crazy thing is it is so scientific though, like the energy and quantum physics. Like if you really want to talk about it, there's so much research. And I think there's so much that people don't, like me included, like I think there's so much that we don't even know yet that we're gonna find out here in the future about like energy and physics and quantum physics and all of that.
Hmm. Thank you so much. Sarja, thank you for joining.
Thank
Yes,
you
thank
for
you.
bringing me up. That was
Yes,
great.
yes.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Yeah. So that was lovely, Christina. Thank you
Mhm.
so much. I was doing an interview. I'm working with this radio station that I give them they do an interview 25, 30 minutes yesterday. And we had the same conversation because a couple of days ago, I did a live about Matrix.
Mhm.
And then yesterday, I got a little bit more deeper into the columns and this and that. And then after we finished the interview, she asked me, she says, are you willing to dive more into it? And I said to her, I said, it's not a question if I'm willing. Yes, I'm willing to get more into it. But knowing that everyone is not real here, and you know what I mean about home, like so many things is going on, is it helpful and beneficial for people? Like if I talk to people more about metaphysics and that this world is not really real, it's just a perception, and adding and getting more into it, would it help people?
I
You
think
know,
so. I think so.
you
I
think
think
that?
people like to know like the whys behind things,
Hmm.
and they like to know. I I hesitate saying scientific because that's like a whole another topic.
Yeah.
But like true scientific like research that's actually true. I think people like find it really fascinating.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay. So, what else would you like to tell us about your work?
I don't have anything more.
Excellent.
I mean,
Okay. Christina,
yeah.
are you working one-on-one right now? Have you ever tried to work as a webinar and with a group of people?
I haven't because the way that this works, it's very individual because you're releasing. I mean, technically, I could do like a group session and just like it doesn't really work well though. Like to be like 100% honest, like I feel like that would be a very false teaching if you did a group session because the whole point of this practice
Mhm.
is to like connect one-on-one with people and release their trapped emotions. And so I find it hard to connect to every single person, and then you would just be releasing like emotions from them that maybe their body isn't ready for. The thing that's great about emotion code is that your body will release what it's ready to release. And
Exactly.
so even though there is processing, like we're not like releasing stuff that your body's not ready to release, which is not good for you. And so it's really individual. So like this work should be done like one on one and not in a group setting.
I hear you.
Hmm.
But I have done many webinars that lasted from 3 months. I mean, the first webinar that I started was about energy healing, just to teaching it.
Hmm.
And then I moved on to different webinars. My last one was, for instance, inner world, how to access inner world and your intuition and all this stuff. That was 5 months, right? So I'm doing the teaching, right? Every week we're
Yeah.
going on Zoom. Everyone is learning. You teaching them the emotional code,
Yeah.
but then at the end you start working one on one, and then
Hmm.
they learn. So that's how I do my webinar. It's a
Yeah, that makes
group,
sense.
right? You're
Yeah.
teaching it, and
Hmm.
then, like my life coaching, I also did a webinar for 3, 4 months about life coaching. And then at the end, one of the students become the coach and the other one, and they work one on one. And
Yeah.
then you come in as the teacher if they need any kind. That's what I mean. Have you thought about doing that?
I haven't, but I I think there's a lot like in my future that like I'll be doing, and I don't even know
Mhm.
what that is, but it's possible that that might be something that I do
Mhm.
for sure. Hmm.
That would be beautiful. We totally support you if you
Thank
ever,
you.
maybe the idea just clicks and you think
Yeah.
about it. Why not? Yeah, I can
Yeah.
do it.
Hmm.
Do it and teach it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is really, I mean, I generally think like we have so many modality and so many
Hmm.
ways of going through the healing, and I think they all valid and they all work and they all at the end it just comes to the individual.
Yeah, exactly.
Are they really willing to release and let go? Because as you and I know so often, because that's what I do all day, working, doing individually, working one on one. And I see so often people don't really consciously, they think they want healing. But then again, subconsciously, in a
Hmm.
deeper level, not everyone really wants to be healed. Not everyone
Yeah, that's
really want to release.
it's because it's safe to not heal because for people that have been sick for a long time or even a short time, that's all that they know. And so
Mm,
when you take that away from them, that identity of like, okay, I'm someone who has Hashimoto's or I'm someone who, has this, and and like they don't know this consciously. I'm saying subconsciously. Like you
mm,
don't know that you feel this way consciously. Like no one would say like I don't want to heal. But subconsciously like you're scared to heal because that means the unknown. That means you don't know what life looks like. How are you going to feel? Um, if you've been sick for a long time, like that's all you know, and then all of a sudden you get healed, then what? What does that look like? What does that look for like for your marriage, your relationships, your work? What does this look like? It's scary, it's fearful. And so some like the biggest thing with healing is mindset and truly wanting to actually heal. And that comes from the subconscious, not the conscious. Like everyone's going to say they want to heal, but once you do the work and you really dig in deep, like, do you really want to heal? And what does that look like?
mhm. I have a question for you because, like I said, I did a live about Matrix the other day, and I talked about karma, which is a huge part of this. Whatever I saw, I will, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, this is a law. It's like law of gravity, whether we believe in it or we're not.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked about like I shared experience of friends even many years ago that they were doing a lot of wrong thing as far as like buying properties and then forcing the tenant to move out, and they're doing a lot of
Mm-hmm.
um, not being like purely a good human being and
Yeah.
coming from the right deeds. And then many years passed and they have gone, like I said, karma is something that it might not show up in a day or a week or, whatever. It could take many years. And then last week, this friend contacted me that her husband, first of all, he committed suicide many years ago, that she got majorly damaged up to today because they were lovers. But then she had a child from him. And then last week, she contacted me that her daughter got cancer. And then she still very shortly, like maybe briefly, 2 minutes, she was like, she got breast cancer. I'm thinking about maybe taking her to Mexico and do the. And then maybe at 30 minutes of our conversation went over her properties. That, yeah, this house is and this apartment, and I'm doing this and this. And then she asked me if I could work on her daughter. And I told her I don't think it would be the right thing for me to do, or I would be the right person because of the karma. And I explained to her, I told her, I said, maybe almost 40 years ago, I told you guys, because I told her husband and her, you're not my friends anymore, because I don't want to have this kind of friends that are constantly lying and doing this thing. And now that the karma is coming back and she's going through this, and yet I'm still seeing that so much is in her material, is still talking about this apartment and that, and removing this tenant and renting out that place. And I thought, because she's in the parts that the karma is catching up to her, right? And I told her that I wasn't the right person to do the healing. Now, my question for you is, in your type of work, are you also involved with the karma and that stuff, or you just going through the process and doing the emotional coding?
I'm doing the emotion code part, but on the other side of that, what I see is what did they feel when they were doing those bad things? What did they feel? They probably didn't feel good inside. No person feels good ripping people off. Maybe on the outside, maybe the conscious level of them is like, oh, I love the money and all this is great, subconsciously, and like they're getting trapped emotions from that. And I'm just thinking, like, everything that you go through, like, what are they suppressing? The guilt, the shame, the fear of getting caught, all of these emotions they're feeling, and it's getting trapped. And then all of a sudden, it starts affecting their health. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's kind of like from the emotion code standpoint of, just because something gets trapped now doesn't mean it's going to affect you now. It can affect you later on. The more you get trapped, the more you get trapped. And then things happen. A lot of times, I've heard people say, like, like fear, like there's certain emotions that affect different organs. And when people have gone through like really something bad in their life, and then after that they get sick, like the correlation. So that's kind of where my head goes with that.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, beautiful. Christina, I'm so grateful to have you here. It was
thanks for having me.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And hope to do another Join Live together. And when you start thinking about coming up with a webinar, let us know.
Okay, I will. Sounds
we
good.
will definitely join you. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful, blessed day.
Thank you. You too.
Love and peace from California.
Thank you. Bring the warmth.
Definitely. See you soon, hon. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay, everyone. Wasn't Christina amazing? All right. Oh, I turned off the comment because we couldn't see what she was doing. Okay, the comments are on, guys. So let me know, how was it, guys? Did you learn from Christina and emotional coding? What did you guys learn? Yeah, there is Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, lovely. Yeah, it was beautiful. Yes. So emotional coding really works, guys, like anything else, like affirmation about, um, you know, doing any type of modality. Um, Isabel, I couldn't leave the comments open, honey, because then we couldn't see clearly what she was doing. So what is it, Isabel, that you want to say? Did you want to join the live? Thank you, Sarah John. I love you too. Thank you, honey. Yeah. So basically, guys, we have so many modalities, healings, emotional coding, this and that. What's your question, Isabel? Yeah, of course I can have a webinar with her. Why not? Yeah. But then again, guys, here's the deal. Like deep, deep, deep inside, what do we want to release and what do we want to hold on to? You're more than welcome, love. It was beautiful having you here. My pleasure. Yes. Okay, that's hey guys, this is hands open energy healing. Yes, you guys can go and follow Christina, watch her lives and all that to get to know more about it. And we will be uploading this live. Hello, darling. Hi, Hosseini. We will be uploading this on YouTube. I have cancer, but I'm not a bad person. Okay. Who is judging right now, honey? Having a cancer does not mean in any shape or form that we are a bad person. Remember, we're not here on planet Earth to be punished. Everything is experience. When you get cancer, like we were just talking about it right now, or when I work with people who have cancer, always you see guilt and shame, and there are a lot of feelings there. And as we were talking about, these are trapped emotions. That doesn't make me a bad person or a good person, because no one is here to judge you or judge anyone, okay? But what it means right now is that you don't have cancer because you're a bad person. Exactly. Yeah. Nobody is here to judge you. It's those trapped emotions that now you have to, the cancer is telling you, bringing your attention into this, like when you got headache or whatever, something deeper needs to be released. And that's all it is. You have to come to yourself with healing, with any emotional coding, whatever you're doing, working with a coach, working with a shaman, working with a healer, for you to be able to release those blocked emotions. That's all it is. Okay, so cancer is not, we make such a huge deal out of cancer. Cancer is nothing like having a migraine headache or having this or that. So no illness is here to punish us. On the contrary, is coming to show us and say, hey, there is something deeper within you that you need to release and let go. Are you willing, or do you really want to release and let go? That's all it is about. And now coming back to my friends that I was talking about, she has, her daughter has breast cancer. Breast cancer, we can see, is a mother issue, and they have always had issues because they're been, I mean, on and off, I've been in their lives, and I know that her mother has been always occupied with the buildings and the money and doing this and this, and she didn't really get the love and attention that she was getting from her mother. So it's a mother-daughter issue, you know, and it doesn't mean that her mother is bad. It's a choice that she made to be more involved in the material world. That's where her priority has been and is up to today. And this is some karmic deals between the mother and daughter that needs to be dealt with, and again to be released, to cut out the emotional karmic ties. Okay, guys, I gotta go. I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to write the comments. How was this live? Was it helpful? Did you get something out of it? How can you use it? Do you need more help? Yes or no? Write the comments, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another live. Have a blessed Sunday and see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye, everybody, and share. Yes, love you. Bye.